at the forefront of politics.
Our enemy is Trump. He is the enemy. We got to unite. If we're not a united party, we lose to Trump.
On the front lines of activism.
There's certain fights, if we don't engage, they win. This is a fundamental question of who we are.
And delivering your daily dose of comedy.
Donald Trump, when he had his physical, they had his blood pressure, and mine is higher than his. Oh. And the irony is mine is higher because of him.
From the blue wave.
We flipped. Enough seats to take control of the House. We control the House.
To 2020 and beyond. This is the Dean Obeidallah Show on Sirius XM Progress, Channel 127.
And welcome to the show, brothers and sisters. Wednesday, August 28th. I'm Dean Obeidallah. As always, your needy Muslim friend, hoping to be your MBFF. On Twitter at Dean Obeidallah, always there. Drop me an email, dean@deanofradio.com. Hope you're having a good day. A little breaking news, not a huge story, but a story nonetheless. Kirsten Gillibrand, the senator from New York, has just officially dropped out of the race. She did it via Twitter, which is kind of odd to use that technology to drop out of the race, but that was her statement was there just a short time ago. And, you know, with all these candidates, someone like her, I thought could have found a lane to find some traction. She wanted about campaign finance reform, which I think is such an important issue. Just never got the traction. So she's dropped out, and we'll still try to get her on. We were trying to get her on before. We'll still try to get her on as a sitting senator to talk to her. So today is August 28th, as you know. Today is 5 years ago today, something special happened. It's the 5th anniversary of something that at the time seemed trivial, but in retrospect told us so much about the GOP, how much they hate Obama, and how hypocritical they are. A little incident, 5 years ago, now looking back with hindsight. What do you think it is 5 years ago? Anyone guess? What do you think happened? Some of you probably know. 5 years ago today, let me remind you here a little bit of a hint. Here's clip number 1 as a hint for everybody.
President Obama's decision to wear a light tan suit at yesterday's news conference. He was wearing a tan suit.
Light tan suit.
I think it was shocking to a lot of people. Is this an effort to make him look warmer?
Also known as Tangate.
Tan suit, and how the tan suit made him look unpresidential.
Whoever talked him into going into a tan suit, they're so desperate because of these low poll numbers, they're willing to do anything.
Tan suit day, Tangate. In fact, that was like a silly mumbo jumbo. Here is Congressman Peter King from Long Island, a right-wing jackass, on CNN being very serious about this. Here's clip number 2. This is from 5 years ago today.
Many Democrats feel he was inartful in his phrasing yesterday about not having a strategy ready for Syria. You also, though, criticized the president's wardrobe, his choice of suit, of a light-colored suit. Do you think that was fair to do that? Why did you take issue with the suit?
Because you know the image makers in the White House. Here's a president coming out of such a serious moment where he should be addressing the country on such a serious matter, and he looked like he was on his way to a party at the Hamptons, which would have been fine if he addressed the issue at hand. But instead, he started talking about the economy, saying that was more important than Syria. And I just thought it detracted from the seriousness of the moment.
So there he is talking about the tan suit and how it detracted from the moment. It's unprecedented. He went on and on. Lou Dobbs, as you heard that clip jumbo there, he had tweeted at the time, Obama in a tan suit. What message is he trying to send? It got so ridiculous that Josh Ernst, who at the time was President Obama's press secretary, at the daily briefing the next day. Remember those? Remember White House daily briefings? Remember we used to do that because we had some transparency, but we don't have that anymore. Here is Josh Ernst responding. Here's clip number 3, please.
Before we get started, and just for the sake of efficiency, I know that there's at least one aspect of the president's news conference yesterday that attracted some attention. And so I thought I might just sort of go over at least one aspect of that argument. And it's specifically this, that, the president stands squarely behind the decision that he made yesterday to wear his summer suit at yesterday's news conference. So Thursday before Labor Day, he feels pretty good about it.
Defending the tan suit. Now it's tongue-in-cheek. They're having some fun with it as opposed to imagine how Trump would have responded. Fake news, losers. It wasn't tan. It was dark. And I wear whatever I want. 5-year anniversary of the tan suit. And I think what's remarkable is that how outraged they were. How you heard all those different voices from Fox News and other places outraged that President Obama would dare wear a tan suit. Literally a suit with a tie, but it was tan. It was a summer suit. And he wore it 2 days before Labor Day weekend. But they are silent, these same people. In fact, they're beyond silent. They're supporting Donald Trump. They're defending Donald Trump in front of his bigotry, his racism, his sexism, and of course, his corruption. And he's putting kids in cages, breaking families apart, his anti-LGBT bigotry and discrimination, and the list goes on and on. They don't have a problem with that. They have a problem with Obama wearing a tan suit. And we remember that moment. People have brought that up, but I think it really crystallized things. 5 years ago, outraged about that, not about this. And that silence is leading us to where we are today. That's why I am not surprised Washington Post headline story today. It sounds stunning, but it's not, because there's no one to hold him accountable in his own party. He thinks he has 95% approval rating. He loves it. He knows his media loves him. What happened today? We learned that Donald Trump is pressuring people in his administration to take the land, literally take the land of people who own property on the southern border without going through courts. Just take it and start building the wall before re-election time is over so he can tell his supporters that he built this. In fact, as they report, he told subordinates that he will pardon them. He will pardon them if any potential wrongdoing. So if they go and they commit a crime, and I don't even know what crime they're talking about here, but taking people's land, like out of a movie, some kind of third world country movie where the government comes and just takes your land. You go, you can't take it. We're going to go to court. And they go, nope, we're going to just build it. And someone files like criminal charges for trespassing. I guess that's where the criminality might be. And they go, nope, we're going to go there. I'm going to pardon you. Look, Donald Trump, it's the same reason I was not stunned, although we talked about it. I was not stunned that on Monday at the G7 on the world stage, there's Donald Trump saying that for the G7 for next year, which will be in America, it could be anywhere in the country, anywhere, but he has chosen his golf course, the Doral in Miami. And in fact, he did a little infomercial that he was sort of channeling the Trivago guy. And here he is, clip number 4, Trump as a Trivago guy.
With Doral, we have a series of magnificent buildings. We call them bungalows. They each hold from 50 to 70 very luxurious rooms with magnificent views. We have incredible conference rooms, incredible restaurants. It's like such a natural. We wouldn't even have to do the work that they did here, and they've done a beautiful job. They've really done a beautiful job. And what we have also is Miami. And we have many hundreds of acres, so that in terms of parking, in terms of all of the things that you need, the ballrooms are among the biggest in Florida and the best.
So there he is doing his little commercial. Now, it's stunning. Where are the Republicans? Why are Republicans not speaking? Imagine Obama said, hey, I'm going to have an event at a property I own. And of course, I'm going to make money. And there are foreign leaders coming here. So it's a violation of the Emoluments Clause. And you imagine President Obama said that? I mean, they got so angry at a tan suit. Imagine he did what they're doing. In fact, on this G7 at his own property where he will make money, it's worse than silence. Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, and asked about it yesterday, said, hey, it's just down the street, not far from where I live. It's in Florida. I think it's a great idea. I want us to have many events down here as we can. So Marco Rubio not only calling this out, and imagine Obama did this, he would have went crazy, saying, I think it's a great idea that Donald Trump's going to profit and have the G7 at his own property. Now, thankfully, the Democrats have called out. Congressman Ruben Gallego comes on our show regularly, said Trump treats the presidency as a means to line his own pocket. Congressman Adam Schiff said there is no limit to his greed. And a short time before the show, Gerald Nadler, House Judiciary Committee chair, said they're going to do investigations into the G7 summit at Trump's property if he tries to go forward with it. But it's not over. What else did we learn in the last 2 days? That Donald Trump's Attorney General, Bill Barr, the cover-up AG as he's known, booked a party at Donald Trump's hotel in Washington, D.C. He could have, like Trump could have had the G7 anywhere in the country, Bill Barr could have had this party at any hotel in Washington, D.C. There are countless beautiful hotels. I've been to many events down there. But which one did he pick? He picked Trump Hotel. So the result is he will deliver to Trump's business over $30,000 in revenue. That's the estimate of the Washington Post for a 4-hour open bar and buffet. Sounds great, doesn't it? It's December 8th if you're in the area. I'm sure you just drop in. Tell him Dean sent you. You can just get in. You can't because it's a Bill Barr exclusive party, which he's paying for out of his own money. Now, they're saying it's not a DOJ party, just so it's clear. But he will be there. He's inviting his friends and family. Some from the DOJ will be there. And he's doing this clearly to make Trump happy. And why this matters is that Bill Barr, not only is AG, his offices are defending Trump against charges of emoluments clause violations in various lawsuits that are going on, that he has profited at that very hotel from foreign dignitaries staying there, which is lining Trump's pockets. That same guy who's supposed to be fighting against conflicts of interest, he's actually defending Donald Trump in that lawsuit because he's charged with this DOJ, but he's doing a conflict of interest violation right in front of us. And it might not be a crime, but let's be honest. In the old days, the standard was not just what's a crime. The old days was not just what's an ethical violation under the ethics rules and laws of our country. It's what is the appearance of impropriety. Having an event at the hotel owned by the president when you work for the president is an appearance of impropriety. There's no doubt about it. It's undisputable. You have it at any other hotel. There's no reason. You only have it there to make a statement to your boss that I'm with you and I'm going to give you money. How about that? So you've got Trump he's going to have Bill Barr have his party there, the same guy defending him against the emoluments clause violations. Why this seems almost like an emoluments clause violation on the domestic emoluments clause, not just the foreign one. And none of this is a surprise. When you think about it, think about this for a second. Trump saying, let's just take the property and I will pardon you. It'll help me get reelected. Let's just take the property. Literally, Washington Post reports that he said to his subordinates, I will pardon you. Him on the world stage saying, we're going to have the event at my hotel and I'm going to make money off it. And it's beautiful and luxurious. I'll do a commercial. No problem. Why not? Bill Barr doing this. More of this corrupt regime. This is like a mafia family. There should be a RICO violation. But the real question is, why am I not really surprised? I'm stunned, but not surprised. Because Donald Trump has not been held accountable for anything he's done as president. The Russians, according to the Mueller report, I'm not even speculating. Robert Mueller's report says Russia knew it would benefit from a Trump presidency, worked to that end. They did everything they could to help Trump. Trump accepted the help. That's what the Mueller report says. It didn't say they conspired together, so it's not a criminal act. He's not indicted for that. And he's not even having an impeachment hearing. So if you're Donald Trump, you've committed crimes, you had the help of Russia, you obstructed that very lawsuit. I mean, you obstruct that very investigation. Every time Democrats are subpoenaing you for your personal records, even to third parties like Deutsche Bank, you're stopping them in federal court. You're using the DOJ as your own private lawyers to help you left and right. If you were Donald Trump and you got away with everything, why would you not keep pushing? Donald Trump knows, he knows he's above the law because he is. He is literally above the law. And partly it's because the DOJ can't indict a sitting president. But secondly, and the bigger thing, and I think you know where I'm going, that House Democrats are not having impeachment hearings. That's why he thinks he's above the law. That's why he thinks he can get away with anything, because he can. Because the one thing House Democrats have the power to do, and forget the 25th Amendment, forget all the amendments, forget everything else, because 25th Amendment to remove Trump takes the vice president of the cabinet, forget it. The one thing us Democrats control, because we work so hard, is the House of Representatives. And that one thing we have, the one tool given to us by the framers of the Constitution, is impeachment. And that very one thing we should be using, we're not using, despite the fact now over a majority of House Democrats want it, but one person doesn't, Speaker Pelosi. Because in her calculations, it's not good politically. That's the same person who led us to lose the House. We lost the White House. We lost the Senate. But in her calculations and Chuck Schumer's, we should defer to them. You've got to be kidding me. This is what, and Trump's, folks, it's only going to get worse. I have no idea that none of us know the depths of what Trump can go to. It's a bottomless abyss of a lack of morality and of corruption. Donald Trump is going to profit off the White House, doesn't care, commit crimes, doesn't care, collude with Russia. And that is the same reason Donald Trump, and again, this is undisputed. If you're a Trumper, go read the Mueller report. There's no doubt the Russians perceived that Trump would be beneficial to them. That's why they helped him and hurt Hillary. They did not help Hillary at all. They hurt him. So that's the same reason Donald Trump wants to reward Russia and Putin. At the G7 2 days ago, which reporting is now, he actually caused a rift there, a little row between other world leaders, except for the Prime Minister of Italy, who was on board with it. The rest were stunned that he wants, with no conditions, let Putin back in. Just for the fact that he took Crimea, you'd have to have some conditions. But the fact that Vladimir Putin directed his military to attack us in 2016, and Trump wants to reward him by letting him back in the G7. And you go, what's going on? Here's the flip side. Why not do that? He helped you last time. You need his help. You bring him on U.S. soil next year for the G7 because that's where he'd be. He'd be back on U.S. soil. Who knows, him and his spies, what they can find out more about us to find our vulnerabilities to help Donald Trump. Because if you're Trump, be blunt. I'm not even kidding. Throw out morals. Think of yourself for a second. You're a sociopath. Think about yourself. And sociopathic, I mean, in the terms of there's no right or wrong, just the end result of you getting reelected and you winning. You've committed crimes. You've gotten help from Russia. You've obstructed justice. You're profiting off the presidency. And you paid no price. Why would you slow down? It's not like he's thinking, wow, I got away with that. No, he actually thinks he's king. He actually thinks he's above all of this. He went after Fox News again today. More and more he's going after Fox News. He thinks he doesn't even need them. I think he does need them, frankly, but that's his own calculation. He is now so in love with himself in levels we've never seen. And it's because no one is holding him to account. And we cannot invoke the 25th Amendment. That's only Republicans in the cabinet and the vice president. Not going to happen. We can't do half the things every Democrat calls in and we talk about doing. The one thing we can do is impeachment inquiry. Start the hearings when you come back. And we're going to have a congressman on tomorrow, my friend Tom Suozzi, who I went to law school with, who's not in favor of impeachment. And it's not like I can convince him, but I will make my case for why we should start impeachment hearings. But these members of Congress are in districts where their own calculations, they fear losing re-election. And I know it's easy for us to sit back and go like, you shouldn't do the right thing. If I was in Congress, I would do that. I promise you that. Even if I lost, then I'd become a contributor on MSNBC. It'd be okay. But I would do the right thing when I'm in Congress. I'm not kidding. For some of them, it's their primary source of income. It's their only source. And I guess that's part of it. It's unfortunate. That's where we are. So I guess if Trump wore a tan suit one day, things would be different. But except for that, he can be a bigot, a racist, sexist, corrupt, separate families, discriminate against Muslims and the LGBT community, demonize African Americans, and the Republicans will not just silent, they will defend him. But Obama wears a tan suit 5 years ago and they went ballistic. The hypocrisy of the GOP is on display for us all 5 years later. So I'd love to hear from you. You're my guest. We got some great guests coming up in the next couple hours. We got Nahira Haq in the third hour. We got Mustafa Santiago Ali coming up. Jossie Ross hasn't been on in a while. He'll be on the next hour as well. But right now, you are my guest, right to the top of the hour. I'd love to hear from you about this hypocrisy, about is this more of a reason Democrats must start impeachment hearings, folks? Because they're going back in session next week. They're going back the week after Labor Day. Not even next week. They're coming back, I believe, the night of the 9th, that Monday. But folks, we need this. 866-997-4748. Give me a call. I'll be right back. You're listening to the Dean Obeidallah Show, where we crush Trump's lies every single day.
On Sirius XM Progress 127.